Hi, this is Lois DeWitt. This is a little bit different technique of collage that I'm going to show you. What I've done so far is to take this cardboard and I have covered it with primarily fragments of pieces of magazines that have kind of a green look to them. You know, it's like pictures of lettuce and some colors of green and some garden pictures, because basically it's going to be like a background. And what I'm going to do now, this is just a little bit different way of working, is I'm going to put a figure in it, and this I think is a good way of showing you how you can place a figure in a collage and have it identifiable. I think I might try to do a picture or a figure of a horse, or I think a horse might be a good way to go, since I've done a lot of those. What I'm working on here is, and this is kind of subtle, what I'm working on is the idea that this particular figure is a different color, so it's going to stand out. And so I'm hoping that the contrast of what I'm adding right now will be seen as a horse. As I said before, and I'm cutting these forms out. I'm being very literal with this now. Before we were tearing forms and putting them together. In this case, I'm really working consciously to make an image, which you can also do in collage. My thought is that I want the image of the horse to stand out, but not so much that it looks like it is contrived. Even though my whole thought on this is to make a shape of a horse. Sort of plays, it's going to stay down there. Oops, I have to do that over again. That's the tail. And what I'm banking on here is the contrast in color. It's interesting to me that the context is pretty much the same. That there's this sort of garden-like quality about the background, and most of these pieces of paper that I'm gluing down are flowers. Sort of like a garden horse. Oh, what? And like I say, the contrast is subtle. don't want the figure of the horse to be that evident right away. I have done a lot of horses. I made a whole a whole series of horses out of junk mail, the stuff that you just usually toss away quite readily. Granted, a lot of the paper in junk mail is just white paper, but there are some interesting, in ads and credit card ads that you get, logos and colors. So I'm thinking that this horse is just about done. Let me see if I can't take it down a little bit. Tap these down. And this is a very interesting way of working because you have to be aware of this sort of overall color, and then if you're going to bring something else in, you have to make a decision as to how you're going to bring it in. Are you going to make it really obvious, or maybe not? Maybe you're going to make that image hide. So that's my garden horse.